Hello, discover and recover yoga people. It is Wednesday. It's the 25th of October. This is Neil McGuffog with At the Core. What you're seeing on screen right now is just a little bit of a distraction. But if you time for me, this was 4 years ago. This was January, almost 4 years ago, January 2020. This is the summit at Mount Kilimanjaro outside of Moshi, Tanzania. Looking east towards the sun rising. Behind me would have been a brilliant full moon that guided us up from the base camp to the summit. About 6.5, almost 7 hours of trekking, only 5K, 5 kilometers, but the trek was immensely difficult. But because of the full moon, headlamps were not needed, and it's just a memory that brings back such smiles and such sense of accomplishment for me that myself, my son, and his now fiance, the three of us made the summit January 13th or 14th. I've got the certificate somewhere, but in my journal. Phenomenal, just the fact that this happened. So now, switching. Oh, lovely red. Welcome to this version, this episode, this version, this connection to discover and recover yoga. I have a little blemish on my nose. You might see that on camera, but I'm going to adjust the lights here in just a bit. But to get started for this week, for this session of Discover and Recover Yoga, I'd like to read from, I pull up these articles from Experience Life magazine. That is a 10 times a year publication from Lifetime Fitness out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Lifetime Fitness, you may know it from your region, from your area, but they have a series, they own a series of about 260 health clubs around the country, and I don't know how many states. I'm part of one of them in the Indianapolis, Fishers, Indiana area, as a yoga instructor twice a week. But this is from their magazine, and it is from what month? This is a few months ago. Title of the article: The Roots of Resilience. Stay steady through hard times with these 7 tips. So this is a medical doctor and a PhD writing this, starting with more people than ever are struggling with their mental health, a trend we view as proof that their resilience has been overwhelmed by the uniquely trying times we're all going through. Resilience is the ability to face life's inevitable challenges and deal with them. If the challenge does knock us down, resilience allows us to get up again and face the next one. Here are certain, we each have certain capacity to deal with challenges. Picture it in this way: each of us contains a little reservoir filled with magic elixir that nourishes our baseline resilience. This reservoir is a different size for everyone, and the level changes based on the variety of factors, many of which are within our control. How can we preserve enough of this elixir to stay afloat? Can we replenish it? And is it possible to enlarge our reserves so our roots stay strong and healthy? Powerful stuff. So we'll start with the first 3. Balance your brain chemistry. This concept is often oversimplified, but brain chemistry is foundational. The neurotransmitter serotonin may even be seen as the key ingredient to that magic elixir that feeds resilience. Rather than relying solely on medication to manage these chemicals, we recommend simple daily habits that support a healthy brain, focusing on diet, a few targeted nutritional supplements, and some modest behavior change can often provide better results with minimal side effects. Number 2, manage your energy. Diet and supplements certainly play a role in energy. We like to emphasize movement and exercise. That's because expending energy in a way that's right for your body forces you to become better, making more energy. also helps you to feel more balanced and less fatigued. Even a daily 30 to 45 minutes of mild aerobic activity like walking does wonders, energy, and resilience. Number 3, align with nature. Like all mammals, we live within the rhythms of nature. The most important natural cycle is sleep, but there are also hourly, daily, monthly, and seasonal cycles, as well as those that change over the course of our lifetimes. We can learn from nature how to manage our stress response so that it becomes just one cycle among many. Non-human animals in nature can do this. When they experience life-threatening stresses that cause adrenaline and cortisol levels to shoot through the roof, their bodies return to baseline almost immediately. Notably, when stress remains chronic, this can change. All right. So let us begin finding your way onto your mat. You're not there already. Cross-legged. Move this over here. Coming onto my meditation cushion and Sukhasana. In Sanskrit is happy pose. The asana is what we're practicing in the movements. So I'll get the camera down so you can see me a little more readily. Open your neck of the woods. You have some brilliant color outside my window. I'm seeing some beautiful reds, some oranges, greens, some golden. The foliage here in the Midwest when fall arrives is quite wonderful. Yeah, so building resilience, those moments, those attributes that we can use. I'm going to go ahead and bring that closer to me and close this blind. So as you find your seated posture, whether it be cross-legged, butterfly pose, you certainly can legs out front, you can sit on the knees. Let's close the eyes, soften the throat and the jaw, and simply be. Simply allow whatever's transpired since the eyes popped open this morning or in this moment. Coming perhaps into some stillness, settling into the breath, deepening the inhales and gently lengthening the exhales. Full, rich, and deep on the inhales, nice and long and steady on the exhales. An opportunity to take the right hand to the heart, the left hand just below the belly button, where you're experiencing the ebb and flow, the rise and fall of the core. Inhale for expansion, exhale is that contraction or that deflation of the balloon. If you would like to think about that abdominal cavity, that middle section, that core being like a balloon. Inhaling is letting that balloon expand. Exhale is simply releasing, letting air go, deflating. Eventually, suggestion is to wrap the fingertips around the shins. Maybe if you're sitting butterfly pose, you can wrap them around the ankles. If you're sitting on your knees, you can let the hands come around the knees. And we're going to inhale for a seated cow and exhale for a seated cat. Inhale, the heart lifts. We roll the pelvic bowl forward. Exhale, there's a tucking. So that's the motion, friends. Inhaling for cow, exhale for cat. A few more rounds, please. Keep the shoulders soft, throat and jaw soft. And I have gone right past the cueing, the verbal cueing of nostril breathing. So if you'd like to place the tongue to the roof of the mouth, that will encourage and almost really promote nostril breathing. Eventually, you're back to neutral. Now I'm going to slide the hands to the knees in cross-legged in Sukhasana as I purposely try to press my knees down while pulling my knees up. So I'm going to try to pull my knees up with the hands pressing my knees down. I'm going to draw my navel to the spine, chin towards the chest, and round through the upper shoulder blades. So just noticing this as we hold for 3, breathing into that for 2. Now let's release and simply uncross and recross the legs in a different, so especially sitting cross-legged, different positions. Once again, inhale for cow, exhale for cat. Now, for some practitioners, uncrossing and recrossing the legs may have zero connection, zero difference in how the legs are positioned. For me, it's quite different, and I'll have to make some adjustments. So if it's different for you, you need to make adjustments. If you need to come out of it because there's too much pinching or gripping, please. Couple more rounds, please. Inhale for a cow. Roll the pelvic bone forward. Exhale, tilt the bone, pelvic bone backwards. Oh, okay. As you come back to neutral, without notes, the suggestion is fingers are direct on the knees. Press the knees down while pulling them up, and draw the chin towards the chest, round and out. Chin tucks in. Carry some stress to the hip areas into the upper back between the shoulder blades. We'll hold for 3. Now hold the breath, hold the posture. And with that nostril breathing into that for 2. Now on 1, please let go. For me, for some, it may feel comfortable just keep legs here. I'm going to uncross and recross in a position that feels a little better as we begin the spin. So I'm taking that torso and just letting it rock above my hips. Circle, I should say, above my hips. Yeah. So keep going in that direction, whatever direction the body's going first. Yeah. And then switch, take it the other way. Oh. Feel it in my low back. So again, for this week, it's similar to last week, I'm doing a little more verbal cueing as opposed to modeling. As you guys get more and more familiar with the postures and the poses, I will verbally cue just because of this low back still hasn't reset. Now come back to neutral, please. Come back to neutral. I can still feel it. So the recommendations is for simply less modeling, more cueing. I certainly want you guys to send a chat, send a note if you I don't think we have anybody new on, so opportunity just to let the mind connect with what you're hearing from me from a suggested cue into a posture. Okay, so we've kind of moved the spine in circulars, we've had a little undulation, articulation. Now the arm's going to lift, and we'll go ahead and go sideways. Taking the left hand down, the right arm up and over. So to the left, it is actually my right, but I'm mirroring you guys. And again, a little movement ahead, yes or no. We like to come. Oh, I hope you like to come in this position pretty regularly. Maybe the left fingertips walk a little further over. Some will get to the left forearm. Doesn't work for me. As we hold here for 3, breathing into that for 2. Nice. Now 1, I'm going to bend that right elbow, bring the right hand to the back of the neck. Inhale, opens up. As I draw that right elbow back, exhale, right elbow to the left knee. Inhale or thigh. Exhale is the twist. So that's the motion. Beautiful. As you move through this process, we'll go for 4. Think about inhale to kind of open and expand out, breathing steady into that for 3. Nice. Almost there for 2. Nice. Now on 1, please untwist. We're back to the heart. So I've got my shirt that I got got this during that same trip to Africa. This I think I picked up at a shop somewhere in Kenya. So inhale once again, sweep the arms wide. Now we're in this little touchdown position. Now you guessed it, the right hand is to the floor. I'm moving my props out of the way. Left arm is going to bisect that left ear. How about left hip drawing energy into that left hip? Little movement ahead, yes. Or no, who knows? Maybe the right fingertip walk a little further out. Coming to the right forearm if it's available as we hold for 3. Let the breath, hold the posture. And you guessed it, left elbow is going to bend, left hand behind the head. Inhale is going to lift the open, maybe just a bit more. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, we open. Exhale, we condense. So that's the motion. Working that spine and that in this posture as we go for 4. Breathing steady step for 3. Here's 2. Okay, here we go. Discovering yoga pieces. Unwind. Yep, we're back to whatever this. Yeah. Hands onto knees, into lap, at heart center, whatever feels good. Well, speaking of heart center, if there's a purpose, make it revolving around this, the roots of resilience. You know, when sometimes when we come to tree pose, I think about, excuse me, mountain pose, I think about the resilience that mountain and trees, the power, the majesty, the strength that they have out in nature. However, you want to find your way onto hands and knees. Gentle reminder, here are some props you might already know about. Yeah. Silver block, a yoga blanket, any blanket will do. Me, this is a meditation cushion. There's the bolster as well. Don't have the bolster for me. A strap, a non-stitchable strap or a necktie. Another opportunity to use it can pop. All right, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Pausing here. Nice. Now, speaking of that torso twist, I'm taking his right arm out and going on and bend the right elbow, the right hand to the back of the neck. So, see a little similar motion here, but it's just I'm doing it from tabletop. Inhale, the elbow lifts. Exhale, elbow to right, left forearm. Inhale, right elbow goes high. Then exhale, think about taking that elbow towards that forearm, that maybe the inside of the left elbow. That's the motion. We'll keep going for 4. Nice. Inhale takes you maybe a little higher, breathing into that for 3. Almost there for 2. Nice. Now I want you back to hands and knees. Reset. Okay. Same the other side. Left down, out, left arm is out, left hand behind the head. Inhale, we lift. And exhale, we twist. And there's a pop. Oh, yeah. So maybe noticing where your inhale, maybe it takes the left elbow a little higher towards the ceiling, or maybe your plate flexes downside. We'll hold for, keep twisting. We'll keep moving for 4. All as well, guys. Breathing into that for 3. Here we go. Almost there for 2. All right. Yes, you're back to hands and knees, big toes to touch, child's pose. So please think about those 3 elements. There's 3 components building roots for resilience. Well, it's your brain chemistry. Manage your energy, align with nature. Number 4, friends, is calm your mind. Calm your mind. Reach for my glasses. Left to its own devices, the mind can really be busy. It's often called monkey mind because it jumps from one branch to another, piercing perching on worries, perching on fear and regrets. Those branches stack our resilience and joy if we stay perched too long. But our minds can be tamed. With practice, we can learn to reclaim our focus and reclaim the power we have given to our thoughts. Just stepping back and distancing ourselves a little from negative thoughts can help us root. Okay, friends, let's inhale back up to the table. And as you exhale, tuck the toes, first downward dog. Hips go high, heels go low. So engage, settle into downward dog. Notice what you notice as you pedal one knee or pedal the feet, bend one knee and another, the tail gets to wag a bit. I'm thinking hands at shoulder distance, feet about hip distance. You've got it. I'm going to suggest you don't forget about the head. So let the head move like it's on a swivel. Beautiful. You might step out wider than the mat with the feet, maybe even step out wider with the mat with the hands. Coming back in eventually. Beautiful. And then, yes, some stillness. Notice what you notice as we ground the heels towards the mat, press your chest towards the thighs, gaze towards the belly button. Inhale, the right leg lifts. It doesn't matter how high you go. It goes, you have some high foot comes to the top of the now. First low lunge. Beautiful. From this low lunge, friends, let's bring that left hand onto a block because we're going to revolve this crescent as we take this right arm to the ceiling. So think about left arm at 6 o'clock, right arm at 12 o'clock as we hold for 3. You're breathing into that for 2. Right. Now on 1, transition takes place. It's a big one. I'm going to take this right foot back and fly side plank. Now my left hand is still on that block. Variation is to lower that left knee, which I'm going to do, and remove the block, and then re-extend my left leg out for this version of side plank. So you have the option to modify. Maybe the inhale has you take that right hip a little higher as we hold for 3. That's nice, almost there for 2. Now the tricky part on 1 is draw that right foot back up to the front. Low lunge. Beautiful, guys. It's the tricky part. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and bring that left foot up to make the right foot standing forward fold. These fingers around the palms to shins, half lift. Exhale, we'll fold it back in. Nice. Right hand to low back, followed by the left hand, and we bind as we rise on up to standing. Outstanding with the bind. You know, I gotta be mindful of some PTSD. I worked on the center in central Indiana. You know, some of the folks have been under arrest, you know, so the handcuffs are back here. And you know, I know for some it can create a little bit of a disturbing PTSD moment. So you can feel the collarbone spreading, the shoulder blade squeezing. Now let's let that relax. Give the shoulders some love. Nice. Beautiful. Hands can come back to the heart center if you want to reconnect with your purpose, intention for this practice. What does it look like to build resilience? Okay, here we go. Inhale, let's sweep the arms wide. Now maybe a little baby back bend. And as you exhale, swan down, flat back, forward, fold. These fingers matter, palms to shins, half lift. Hold it back in. If you warmed up enough, you want to hop it or step it to the back of the mat, plank position. Power pose number 1. So I'm thinking, well, that side plank was a power pose for sure. So you have this option to stay in plank. Maybe grab a yogi push-up or 2. Otherwise, and that can be done from the knees. That's a wonderful variation. As we hold for 3, I'm not trying to sink the hips down or let the hips come up top, almost there for 2. But speaking of the side, let's go ahead and draw the hips high, heels low, downward dog. Okay, resetting in this position, chest or side gaze towards the belly button. Inhale, left leg lifts. Does matter again, how high or how low. Exhale, left foot comes top of mat, lunge. Okay. I'm going to take my block to the instep of that left foot, left hand high, right hand low, revolve crescent. Okay. Nice. Beautiful. We'll hold for 3. My back will be facing you, but the big transitions come up almost there for 2. Now, let's sit back, side plank. On the lower right, my right knee for variation. You can do that as I take my right hand off the block, extending the right arm back. For the right knee, down. So this variation of side plank. Maybe noticing that left hip can go a little higher towards the ceiling as we hold for 3. That's breathing into that for 2. Now, on 1, sweep that left foot. Oh, missed it. Yeah. Sweep that left foot up. It's a lunge. Nice. Right foot comes up to meet the left foot, standing forward fold. Keep swinging right at palms and shins, half lift. Exhale, fold it in. Left hand a little back, followed by the right hand. Rebind and let's rise on that. Less dominant thumb on top. I know it sounds silly. Less dominant thumb on top. Collarbone spreading, shoulder blades squeezing. Now all I'm doing is coming up onto the tiptoes. Oh, before that, let's lift the toes. And with the bind, and who knows, you might maybe feel the hands together, maybe feel apart. You may have something that looks a little bit like this. So whatever's working for you. As we lift the 10 toes, I've been working, Paul is laughing at me because I've been pretty hard toe betters on using that to get these toes to spread and really helping. I'm seeing a significant difference with my toe spreading. And then toe pads come back down and we come up onto the tiptoes. Option now is to start to bend the knees. The bind is made. We maintain the bind. Just an opportunity to see what it's like to be on the balls of the feet. Collarbone spreading, shoulder blade squeezing. Everything's kind of tight here on purpose by design. We'll hold for 3. Let's breathing steady into that for 2. 1, re-straighten the legs. Release the bind. And again, shoulders get some love. Mhm. All right, so I'm gonna walk over here and turn the fan on. I'll be right back. Get some air moving in the studio. Mhm. Nice. Okay, back to mountain pose. Steady breath in, steady breath out. Okay, from the top of the mat, once again, inhale, sweep the arms wide, not little baby, but and here we go, swan dive, forward fold. These fingers mat at palms to shins, half lift. Exhale, fold it back in. Step or hop to the back of the mat, plank position. Revisiting this side, how this regular plank position, push up. Please feel free to do this from the knees if that feels better as we hold for 3. Gets nice, almost there for 2. I'm going to do lower the knees, flatten the feet, chest and chin all the way down to the mat. Chest and chin all the way down to the mat. Some of the props out of the way. Arms come out like wings. Okay, I am purposely going to float onto my left side of my body as I open up that left shoulder head. I'm going to go ahead and take this right knee, right foot, and see if I can land it on the floor as that right knee goes towards the ceiling. So this is going to be opening that left shoulder head, right hand maybe in front of the chin, maybe in front of the chest. Big opening on that left shoulder head. You might also feel it into the right leg a bit as we hold for 3. Steady breath. Here we go for 2. Nice. Now on 1, I'm going to re-straighten this right leg. Come back onto my chest. We're prone. Right arm is out. Like wing now, we're rolling onto the right side. Left leg is going to find knee to the ceiling, foot to the floor. Right, the left hand is now at its base, maybe at chest height, maybe at chin height. Fellow right shoulder. We'll hold steady for 4. Big breath in, steady breath out, breathing into that for 3. That's almost there for 2. All right, on 1, back to prone. Release that left leg long. Arms once again out like wings. Now let's do this. One palm down, the other palm on top of the hand, and just let us forehead nestle on the leg. Any like extra tension, tightness, just let the shoulders soften. Maybe a little hip shimming. Beautiful. We'll hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. There's that 1. Pause. Nice. All right. Right hand to the low back, left hand to the low back, and there's an opportunity to bind. So we've had a little bit of a warm up on this. But inhale, I'm floating the chest, floating the legs, and drawing the knuckles to the back of the hands. Nice. So little posture here as we go for 4. Breathing steady into that for 3. Almost there for 2. Right on 1. Release. Just chest and chin down. Let the shoulders roll forward. Maintain the bind. Okay, on the release, but we're going to do that 2 more times. So when you're ready, with the bind, inhale, lift the heart, pump the thighs, press into the pelvic bones. Yes. We continue that steady breath circle. We'll go for 3. That's nice. Almost there for 2. 1, maintain the bind, coming back down, please. So get the windows open, so hopefully not too much exterior noise is coming through. Maybe these earbuds do a little bit of cancellation. But last time, call it locust pose with the bind. So inhale, knuckles drop out, chest and heart lift, eyes lift. You're pressing into the pelvic bones. We'll hold for 4. And inhale, may have you come up a little higher for 3. It's almost there for 2. Now please come down and release the bind and kick. Yeah, to prone. Maybe a little hip shimmy. Beautiful. But eventually, here we go. Discover and recover yoga, folks. The fingertips and line with the top shoulders. Elbows pressed against the side of the body. Push up through table. Suggest this version of child's pose is a little more narrow. The knees are a little more narrow. I like to introduce that on occasion, especially if we work to try to release this little leg. Some will draw the hands at semicircle down like the sides of the body and maybe find the bind, interblade, let the hands blend something a little back or maybe bind at the lower blades of the feet. I've got some students that like to place one palm down and the other one on top for this version. Nice, go up chair. We'll hold for 3, breathing into that for 2. Nice, now the arms to the back, float them forward. You're coming up to hands and knees. All right, no fancy transition. You can cross the ankles, draw the hips back. That works. I'm going to lower to my right hip or left hip, swing the legs around to the finish. Making our way to seated. So let's take a moment to get into our full staff pose and read this. Number 5, turn toward the feeling. Many of us deal with difficult emotions like fear, anger, and sadness in one of 2 ineffective ways. We avoid or we overreact. The key is to stay grounded while you experience the emotion, but not get stuck in it for too long. The way to do that is to move directly into it, which may seem counterintuitive. Keep your attention on the feeling long enough to experience it deeply, then allow it to work its way out. Turn toward the feeling. Inhale, the arms are lifted. Exhale, we'll have our seated forward fold. Inhaling, may the spine may flatten a bit. The exhale maybe gets a little deeper into the posture. Oh, yeah. Yeah, walking the hands up the outstretched leg, go down. Taking on one foot, right foot inside that left thigh. Right foot inside the left thigh, the arms will lift, and we'll cascade over that left thigh. Hands come to shins, to the ankles, maybe to the foot. From here, an option to slide that left arm underneath the chin. Maybe that left hand connects to the right knee as you find a twist with this. I think it's called Janu Shirshasana, which is the Sanskrit term for this posture. We hold for 3, breathing into that for 2. Now, if that left arm is over there, release it. Let's walk the hands back up that outstretched left leg and switch. Right leg goes long, left foot nestles inside that right thigh. Arms will lift, and we're going to cascade over the right. Same thing, other side. Again, I'll verbally cue you through this. So hands come to the shins, maybe the ankles, maybe the foot. Option is thread that right arm underneath the chin over towards the left knee. So you've got the left fingertips wrapped around the right shin, right ankle, maybe the right foot. And we have that. That's a pretty big twist. We'll hold for 3. That's nice breathing each side for 2. Now release that right arm. Let's walk both hands back up the outstretched right leg. Left leg comes out to meet it. Maintain once again mountain staff pose as we bend the knees, soles to feel the mat, hands down the hips. Inhale for reverse table. Okay. Opportunity. Maybe take the hips a little higher. You're going to feel this into the triceps, to the shoulder blades. Beautiful. Some will gaze over the top of the thighs. Some will gaze to the ceiling. I have some students, they can see the back of the mat. Let's hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now, I'm going to extend this right leg out, bend the right ankle. Left ankle lands on left thigh. I'm lowering my booty down. So this is where some will have a more range of motion. For me, with my artificial hips, this is about as deep as I go. Some will draw that left heel a little closer to the left glute. Some will bring that chest a little closer to that right calf. Maybe a little rock and rolling here. I can feel that into my right hip flexor. Hopefully you can as well. A big stretch. My fingertips are facing forward. I have some people have the fingertips facing backwards. Doesn't matter. Here we go for 4. Breathing steady to that for 3. Almost there for 2. 1, right foot lowers back down. Return to reverse table. Hello, triceps. Hello, shoulder heads. Nice. Inhale, maybe take the hips up a little higher, gaze to the ceiling, tops of the thighs, maybe to the back of the mat. We'll hold for 4. Here's 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now 1, left leg extends out, left knee bends, left ankle to right thigh, same thing other side. Okay, so perhaps that right heel draws a little closer to the right glute, chest is pressing. I'll turn my fingers around. I'll see how that works. Bringing my chest towards my left calf. Soften the throat, soften the jaw, and I'm just having a little movement. I've got some students that will place a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball underneath that. Well, for now, it's underneath that left butt cheek. A little myofascial. That's a big myofascial release move. Yeah, but for now, maybe you just kind of roll over there, kind of rock and roll on that left butt cheek. Nice. We'll go for 4. Nice. Here's 3. Here's 2. Eventually, left foot finds the floor. Good job. I'm going to stay with the feet bent. The knees bent. Making sure you've got room behind you. So soles of the feet, I'm going to try to keep them grounded. Heart lifts a bit, and then we just begin our slow descent. We're just going to roll it on down. Draw the knees into the chest. Oh, I'm on the mat good again. Side to side rock might feel good. Ooh, front to back, maybe. If you go front to back, make sure you tuck the chin in. Up. Okay, friends, eventually the arms come out like wings. Knees flip to the right, gaze is left. So as you flip the knees to the right and the gaze is left, here is number 6 of roots of resilience. Cultivate a good heart. This step is about learning to love fully and well. When you open yourself up to compassion, gratitude, loving kindness, and other heart-based emotions, you grow the size of the resilience reservoir that deepens your roots. The best part about this is that it's no risk at all, no risk and all reward. You will never regret putting your time and efforts into cultivating a good heart. It always pays off. So, some will take that right hand to the outside of the left thumb for a little deeper movement, a little deeper twist. Now, I'm trying to keep my left shoulder blade connected to the surface as we hold here for 4. Just breathing steady into that for 3. Here's 2. On 1, the hips come back to center, the knees follow, and we're rebinding. Still my reading glasses on. So I want to, encourage us, whatever time. I'm just trying to get deeper, get a little more, stronger with this thigh towards core. Now, arms out like wings, knees to the left, gaze is right. As you find that transition, the last strategy, the 7th one for increasing the capacity for resilience, create deep connections. Building and maintaining great personal relationships is key to resilience. But this step is about more than just social connections. It's also about connecting with the deeper parts of yourself and something beyond yourself, however you think of that. Think about the metaphor of an entire reservoir filled with the elixir of resilience. Cultivating a good heart is a lot like building a pipeline to access that supply. Creating deep connections allows us to draw that elixir out and use it. This might be the single most important thing we can do for our resilience and maybe for our overall health. We'll hold for 3. Next, breathing into it for 2. All right, please come back to center. Rebind. And then before we get to Savasana, happy baby pose. So for me, I have to lift my shoulder blade to the back, a little bit off the mat, eventually shoulder blade to the back, and then return to the surface. I'm purposely using the elbow grease and drawing the knees south, soles of feet high. There might be a movement from thigh to thigh or side to side. Hello, adductors, inner thighs, flexors, Elbows can be kind of used to the inside of the knees, maybe pressing out a little bit as we go from 4. Just breathing steady into this for 3. Nice, here's 2. All right, on 1, the bind is released. Oh, yeah. Soles of feet to the surface. Big breath in, big breath out. You have options in butterfly, and if you segue to Svasana, somebody needs a butterfly pose. Myself, you might take right ankle, right corner, left ankle. You know the deal. Left ankle, left corner. I'm going to suggest you find your sweet spot. Make any physical adjustments, any emotional adjustments. Check in with the breath. And settle into this version of Savasana for Discover and Recover Yoga, October 25th. If you take these moments of stillness, just to recap, 7 strategies that can help you keep your own reservoir at least half full, reservoir resilience. Balance your brain chemistry. Rather than relying solely on medication to manage these chemicals, we recommend simple daily habits that support a healthy brain, focusing on diet, a few targeted nutritional supplements, and some modest behavior change can often provide better results with minimal side effects. Manage your energy. Even a daily 30 to 45 minutes of mild aerobic activity like walking does wonders for energy and resilience. Align with nature. The most important natural cycle is sleep, but there are also hourly, daily, monthly, and seasonal cycles, as well as those that change over the course of our lifetime. We can learn from nature how to manage our stress response so that it becomes just one cycle among many. Calm your mind. My mind often finds saying it's the breath in the body, always in the present moment. It's the mind that has a tendency to wander and will ruminate into last week or project into tomorrow. And see if we can step back and distance ourselves from negative thoughts. Number 5, turn toward the feeling. Turn toward the feeling. The key is to stay grounded while you are experiencing an emotion, not to get stuck in it for too long. The way to do that is to move directly into it, which may seem counterintuitive. Keep your attention on the feeling long enough to experience it deeply and then allow it to work its way out. Number 6, cultivate a good heart. This step is about learning to love fully and well. And number 7, create deep connections. Friends, I'm such a big proponent of stronger connections build stronger communities. And Lord knows, whatever's waiting around the corner, for us individually and collectively, that strong communities are going to be key going forward in this world, in our lives. Okay, Discover and Recover, folks. Let's start to bring some movement back to fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Head can move from side to side if the legs have been bent. If you're in butterfly pose, if they were bent down, you can straighten them and vice versa. You might find an opportunity to reach the fingertips overhead. Point to flex the feet. And that's morning stretch in whatever time of day it is for you. Inhale and lengthen. Just for a moment. Exhale, we'll draw both knees back in. Last bind. I've got several students, either float to the left side or the right side, and they find a fetal position. If it feels more comfortable to stay on your back, absolutely. This, in yoga practice, we call it a renewal. So maybe in the mind's eye, coming back to your intention, your purpose, the desire for this practice. to build more resilience, to follow those 7 components. Now, however you find your way to seated, I'm going to press up, grabbing once again my meditation cushion. Returning to that beginning posture, we're seated. Whatever that manifests, however that unfolds through in these moments. Reconnection to tall spine, a reconnection to soft jaw, eyes closed, crown of the head lifted. Resilient. On an in-breath, let's sweep the arms wide and high. It's almost as if we're figuratively, metaphorically drawing energy up from the base of the palms, will kiss above the crown of the head, and then to the heart space we go. Here's a check-in at the heart center where all that we know, the wonderful stuff that emanates. But ultimately love. Ultimately love. We'll cultivate that kind heart, that kind-heartedness, that open-heartedness, that loving kindness. We close in the traditional fashion. Please know the divine light, the teacher, and the spirit that dwells within me, indeed, with a bunch of gratitude. And hopefully, a mindset and heart set towards building resilience in my life bows to the divine light, the teacher, and the spirit within each of you guys. Namaste. Namaste, one and all. Blessings. Thank you for being here. Questions, comments, please email me, text me, carrier pigeon, snail mail. Love you all. Bye.